Welcome back. Today we're going to get into the really good stuff, the specific linguistic tools you need to stop sounding like a student and start sounding like a real expert in that IELTS speaking exam. We're going way beyond the basics to give you those key phrases that scream fluency right from the get-go.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. You ever have that feeling? You know the words, you've got the grammar down, but when you actually speak, it all comes out feeling, well, a little stiff. It's a super common hurdle, and it's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
So what's really holding you back? I call it the textbook speaker trap. This is where you're saying things that are perfectly correct, but they're just generic. And that actually stops the examiner from seeing the kind of flexible, precise language they need to hear to give you a top score. And this right here shows you that gap perfectly. You know, a basic speaker might say their city is nice or their apartment is big. An expert user, they take it to the next level. They'll use words like vibrant for the city or spacious and centrally located for their home. It's that precision, that detail, that really makes the difference. I absolutely love this analogy. Just think of these advanced phrases as spices for your English. You don't need to sprinkle them everywhere, right? But adding just the right ones at just the right time can totally transform a simple answer into something sophisticated, something that's going to make that examiner sit up and listen.
So how do we actually do it? Well, we're going to build your linguistic toolkit. I'm about to give you 3 really powerful, concrete tools you can start using pretty much immediately to upgrade your speaking. And here they are, your 3 core tools. We're going to start with natural fillers. These are perfect for buying yourself some thinking time. Then we'll jump into topic-specific vocabulary to really show your precision. And finally, we'll cover how to use advanced idioms without sounding unnatural. Okay, let's dive into the first one.
Okay, so here's the thing. Everybody needs a second to think. The difference is how you fill that silence. Instead of just going, or uh-oh, which can sound like you're stuck, try using a natural filler. Phrases like, to be honest, or, that's a tricky question. They don't just buy you time, they actually make you sound more thoughtful and fluent while you get your ideas in order. All right, tool number 2, topic-specific vocabulary. And the secret to nailing this is understanding collocations. These are really just words that like to hang out together, that sound natural to a native speaker. You know, like saying heavy rain instead of strong rain. Using the right collocations is one of the clearest signals of a really advanced speaker. Let's look at a real example. If the topic is accommodation, instead of just saying apartment block, you can upgrade that to high-rise building. Instead of near the center, try the collocation centrally located. And for your future plans, swap out in the future for the more natural down the line. This kind of language just shows a much higher command of English.
And that brings us to our third tool, idioms. But listen up, there is one golden rule here. You absolutely cannot force them into a conversation. An idiom only works its magic if it fits the context perfectly and sounds totally authentic. If it doesn't, it can actually do more harm than good.
Here's a perfect example. Once in a blue moon is just a fantastic, natural-sounding way to say you do something very rarely. And think about it, it fits so smoothly into a conversation about your hometown, which, is a really common IELTS topic.
Or how about this one? A blessing in disguise. It's perfect for describing something that seemed bad at first, but actually turned out to be a good thing. This is gold for telling personal stories, maybe about a past job or a place you lived. It just adds a nice little narrative touch to your answer.
And one more for talking about your personality. Calling yourself a social butterfly is such a vivid and natural way to say you're outgoing. And see how it connects everything? It explains why you enjoy living in a bustling city. It all just links together so nicely.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about what you say, but what about how you say it? Let's talk about fluency. And let me be super clear about this. The goal is not to get rid of your accent. Not at all. The goal is clarity. It's about being easy to understand. So what creates that clarity? Well, it boils down to these 3 things, what I like to call the music of English. You've got intonation, that's the rise and fall of your voice, then word stress, hitting the right syllable, like in important, and connected speech, linking words together smoothly for a natural rhythm. If you get these down, you will be crystal clear.
And now for a little secret that I hope gives you a huge confidence boost. Even Band 9 speakers make little mistakes, little slips. The difference is they don't panic. They just correct themselves smoothly and keep going. The examiner values that sustained flow, that fluency, way more than they value absolute perfection. All right, we have covered a ton of ground.
So let's bring it all home and boil it down to the 3 most important takeaways from all of this. These are the core strategies you really need to focus on.
First up, elevate your vocabulary. Make it a mission to swap out those generic words like good or big for precise, topic-specific language like vibrant or spacious. This is honestly your fastest path to sounding more advanced.
Second, own your pauses. Use those smart fillers like actually or to be honest to buy yourself that crucial thinking time. This will help you keep that fluent, natural rhythm and avoid sounding like you're searching for words.
And number 3, focus on the music of your speech. Pay attention to your intonation, your word stress, and how you connect your words. Again, this has nothing to do with your accent. It's all about making your English clear, confident, and just easy for the examiner to follow.
So, as we wrap this up, I want you to go back to that analogy of the spices. You now have a whole toolkit full of them. Natural fillers, specific vocabulary, and idioms. So the only question left is, which spice are you going to add to your English first?